Hello everyone, good morning. I'm the JBPM trainer. We'll go with the overview of the training, JBPM training. What are the things we are going to cover? What we have delivered earlier, everything. We are going to cover it about the companies. About me, yeah, I have more than 10 years of experience with the IT industry. I have hands-on experience with many technology like Java and database, AWS, clouds. Those technology I have hands-on experience. I am currently working as a professional, full-time professional developer, as well as a professional trainer. I have around more than 5 years of experience with JBPM and BPM technologies. I worked with more than 15 real-time projects. I have hands-on experience with the 15 real-time project with the BPM technologies. I have delivered it. It's currently running in the higher enrollments. Also, I completed some the JB OCP, JP, Oracle Certificate Professional Java SE Programmer. I have few morphology certificates also. This is about myself. Moving to next slide. The scope of the demo is after the completion of the demo, you will get a overview of the JBPM console and its components. That will be helpful you to create yourself to all the end-to-end JBPM process like integrations and creating creating the projects with the JBPM toolkit. It's a middleware toolkit. You can use the middleware toolkit to create your enhance your projects from the scratch level. Also, you will get a clear picture on how to install and configure the JBPM in your local machine as well as the instance, the higher environments. You will get a real-time web applications, how it will be actively, constantly. You will be going to use the JBPM toolkit. That will get a clear picture on how it how it is working. What are the major points we are going to cover it, and integrations basically the BPM process workflow we are integrating with the we are mostly integrating with the Java and the J2W applications that we'll get to know about in deeper during the sessions. And also after the workflow is started, we have to do some monitoring and simulations and process executions through the custom UI as well as the out of the box business central that we can do it. That you will get to know about how we can do end-to-end process for the JBPM everything from this course. This is a high-level topic outline for the JBPM things. You will get a clear picture on about the JBPM toolkit and the rules, how it is working, how we are going to implement in a real-time project. And the installations is like you have to install certain prerequisite softwares that I will provide in this presentation itself. You will going to install everything like softwares and the applications, tools, everything you have to install in your machine. At least it should be available in the environment to assess and do it from your side. And third one is element and properties and API is the most key components to use the JBPM toolkit. You'll get to know about what are the elements will be there, how we will use it in your projects, how it will work. In the each elements will have a different behaviors that will get to know during the sessions. Okay, APIs, we have a Sagar API with JBPM. We can use the direct API to call everything like start the process, stop the process, everything we can cover in the. We can directly use the APIs to call and do the backend things that we can use it, as well as we can create our own custom endpoint to do our custom logics that we can implement in our Spring Boot projects with the JBPM tool. And integration with the JBPM external is in JBPM will act like a middleware. We can speak with the front end and back end code easily, as well as it will be, we can create like microservices that we will deploy and will communicate from the other systems to the system that we can do it. Then process management is mostly like advancing the process and reassigning the process to some other users or groups, rules, groups, that we can do it through the console itself, business central console itself. And a remote API factory, like basically will connect to the factory to get some some connections, and some high level picture of the project level. And final one is the exception handling. The exception handling is whenever the any error occurs during the business process, business exceptional or technical exceptions, we have to handle it in our own project itself. That we are going to cover in detail during this session. And finally, you will get a practice test as well as the entry mock-up entry questions. Who are interested to take up the interview mock-up interview to get validated by yourself, you can start, you can connect, and you can get evaluated by yourself. And add-on topic is during this session I'm providing some add-on topics to this training, like real-time project experience. I will discuss how the real-time projects will work, what are the architecture, high level architecture and low level architecture. I will explain in detail how the project is currently working on the instance, as well as how we can utilize in our project level. That I'll explain in detail. Then practical session, whenever the major topics or major things I am going to cover, I will give some practical sessions to you have to do it in yourself, and you have to provide it to me, that I will get validated, that I'll give some feedbacks on the practical session. And the tips for the beginners who doesn't have the BPM technologies, I will give some tips how you'll pick up quickly to use it in your project, at least like a intermediate or advanced intermediate level. You will get to know after the completion of the training. Finally, we'll have some Q&A discussion. Basically, we'll discuss about everything about after the box thinking, like we can discuss anything in the language level or architecture level, and how we'll design and integrate the UI, the custom UI. Like in the front end you can use the Angular, and middleware you can use a JBPM toolkit, and back end you can use Java Spring Boot technologies. That we can do it is a simple project setups. That higher level and low level architecture we can discuss. If you have any real time questions, real time issues with your current project, that we'll discuss with respect to the JBPM technologies. And with the additional course resources, I'm providing the documentations. What are the topics and what are the things I'm taking during this session. I'm providing the documentations to you to get familiar by yourself, and come up with your own questions. If you have any doubts or any clarification needed, yeah, please come up with your questions and ask in the next session and during the sessions itself. If you have, I'll answer the session itself. If not, I will note it down. And if it is new to me, or if it is some advanced level, yeah, that will note it to me, and I will get back to you with the right answer with a proper time manner. And major topics in detail, in JBPM we have a n number of components, n number of concepts is there. So basically, major thing is particularly we can say like 10 to 15. So 10 to 15 major components we have to cover mostly. That we are going to work in continuously. We are going to work with the major topics. That major topics I will cover in detail, so that will help you to get understand better. Then in the real time project, if you go and work in the real time project, that will be more helpful on this. As well as I will provide some sample codes that will go through, and you can create it by your own self. I will provide the steps how we will create the JBPM project in your local machine, as well as the higher environment, by using some tools. I will provide in a step by step details, as well as I will provide some sample codes how it will work. You can go through it and you can come up with your own questions. Okay, let me talk about the projects. What I have done. I have done more than 15 projects with JBPM. I'm very much expert with the JBPM and Alphasco process service activity BPM. So this is basically BPM technologies. Both are BPM technologies. I have more than 5 years of experience with the JBPM technologies. The domain I have worked in finance, telecom, and education. Let me talk about some sample project what I have done. It's a order kind of things. Okay, so assume that we have an order. So once this order is placed, that should go to the proper flows. as per the business requirements, then it will finish according to the result oriented things. So in the front end, I have used Angular, and the back end I have used the Spring Boot project. The middleware is a JBPM toolkit. That is the middleware. So what we have done is we have developed our own UAE in the Angular, and the backend is totally is a Java program which will communicate to the JBPM technologies as well as with the UAE also. UAE, the backend program will handle the custom endpoints also. That is a major things. Basically, to describe that, the workflow tool is a system used for a company workflow process automation. So WAT as a process engine which multi-use capability to define, automate business process. It wants the E2E architectures of the definition process and an purchases interface with all the connected systems to govern to the process until completion. So in that project, we have used more than 23 workflows. It's a very complex project. We have used external workflows or embedded and support flows, all the exception handlings and script users, everything. Most all the components we have used in this project. It's a very complex project. This is about the project. And set up your environment is the prerequisite things is you should have a high speed internet and laptop or desktop, whatever you have, that's fine. And the software is you have to download the JBPM server. You can download it, that's open source. You can download it and you can use it directly. To run that, you should have a Java 8 and a Maven. So Eclipse IDE, I hope you may already have it. If it's not that, you have to install the Eclipse. Then the minimum requirement is Windows 7 and above. Free space is 50 GB, free space is enough. So this is the minimum requirement, and memory 8 GB and the CPU 4 cores. So mock-up interviews is after completion of the course, we will conclude the mock-up interviews to participate who wants to evaluate themselves before applying a job or before entering into the projects, JBPM projects, or if you want to understand your level. So we'll conclude the mock-up interviews to understand your knowledge gap. If you have anything, if you are not sure about anything, yeah, you'll you'll cover it in the during the sessions. And going to the certifications, yeah, we have a certification provided by the Red Hat community. So after this course, you can apply the Red Hat certification specialist in a business process design. This is the certifications I could see in the Red Hat page. You can apply and you can clear it. This certification is mostly all of them related with our topic only. If you understand better, yeah, you can directly after completion of this course, you can definitely apply this certification and you can get clear on time. We'll go with some topics. What are the topics we are going to cover in detail? So in the JBPM overview and Drools overview, we are going to cover JBPM, Drools, and the community project with enterprise projects and Eclipse integrations. These are all low-level points we are going to cover. And during installations, you will get to know what are the software requirements and tools and applications you need to have it in your machine. And the elements and the properties and the APIs is nothing but all the components. So elements and the proper elements is nothing but all the components which we are going to use in the JBPM training, like task and sub workflows, embedded and gateways. Everything we are going to cover in during the session. So these are all points under this topic. And the JBPM external integration process management remote actual factor. It's like how we are going to integrate project like architecture level, the UI and backend, that we are going to cover in the session, as well as some sample web applications and workbench integrations and architecture of the integration, create of sample process. So those we are going to cover in during this topic. And we have a business process. Okay, Git repository. Yeah. And final one is exception handling. So whenever something went wrong, so say it like some we are expecting some response from the endpoint, there is no response from the server, so we have to handle it in a proper way, proper manner, in the business logic. So those this is the business logic exception. And as well as something the server is down, or the expected result is not there, then we have to go in the right direction, or right or left direction, that we have to go it. So those exception handling we have to cover in the process management. We are trusted by these companies. I'm giving just a simple overview of the JBPM. What about that? JBPM is a toolkit for the business process, business application. So help to automate business process and decision. So this is about the simple overview of the JBPM. JBPM can be used to standalone service or embedded in a custom service. Doesn't matter of any framework to be used. It can be successful in a traditional J2W application and Spring Boot widely deployments and the standalone Java programs. Those we can directly use it. It's a very lightweight open source. It allows you to create, deploy, execute, and monitor business process through their life cycle. So JBPM is a business process management. It involves to enable user to pick their own path in a business automation. So assume that we have a requirement in a company like we have some flows. That flows we can directly achieve through this business process management. So I'm just giving an overview. This is the architecture of the JBPM. So core engine and human task service persistence, everything we are keeping in the execution level. And modeling and deploying, we are designing the process design, and we are authoring the rules, and data modeling, custom Pojo classes and data modeling we are doing here. And the form model is nothing but we are giving some inputs during the workflows, right? At the time of starting the workflows, or in middle of the any task, we are giving some input to the workflow. That is a form modeler. So these are all about modeling and deployment. So this is a Eclipse developer tool. We can use some IDE, our own comfortable IDE, to develop and deploy our models. This is the executions level, CI/CD, REST, and JMS. It will communicate to the CI/CD, REST, JMS. And runtime management is like in the business level and end user, business analyst and end user. You can use runtime management, process management, task list, like a process. What are how many processes running actively? How many processes has been completed? What are the completed tasks and active tasks? We can go it, and the list of the tasks we can check it. We can assign the task to someone else, or we can directly pick up the task from the task inbox. And reporting, like mostly concentrate on the business activity model, business activity monitoring, mostly like a report, generating report, and creating the reports. And this is the overview of the JBPM. Yeah, hope you will understand. Please share your feedback, and contact us for queries related course scopes or schedules, references, cost, and the payments, everything. If you have any queries or any feedbacks or anything related to the course, yeah, please contact our email. And you have the contact numbers. Please contact the contact numbers. Yeah. Thank you.